beautiful Chicago to come out here and do an operational surge.
This is wrong. I'm here because there's torture in that facility.
ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car.
That's terrorism.
We're hearing that children aren't going to school, people aren't going to work. There's a level of fear out there that we have to bring down.
U.S. President Donald Trump took office in 2025, promising a broad immigration crackdown and mass deportations. Since then, thousands of masked ICE officers have stormed through U.S. cities to seek out immigrants without legal status. And they've been criticized for aggressive tactics and racial profiling. But what exactly is ICE, and how did we get here? ICE stands for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It was created in 2002 as part of the newly formed U.S. Department of Homeland Security after the 9/11 attacks.
Tonight, I propose a permanent cabinet-level Department of Homeland Security to unite essential agencies.
Immigration was formerly handled by the Immigration and Naturalization Service under the Department of Justice. ICE has two main divisions. One focuses on immigration enforcement and the other on transnational crime.
And if people are able to smuggle artifacts into this country, that could lead to certain national security consequences.
The agency has historically taken a targeted approach to enforcement. Officers would try to locate immigrants in the U.S. illegally and then arrest them at their homes, workplaces, or in public. Then came President Barack Obama, and immigration reform was one of his top priorities. His administration took steps to limit the scope of who ICE was arresting to focus on serious criminals.
Stopping illegal immigration also depends on reforming our outdated system of legal immigration.
When President Trump started his first term in 2017, he praised ICE officers and Border Patrol agents and said he would empower them to do their jobs.
Our order also does the following: ends the policy of catch and release at the border, calls for the tripling the number of ICE officers.
In response to Trump's aggressive enforcement, some opponents called for ICE to be eliminated altogether and replaced with something else. This stance became known as Abolish ICE.
And imagining these kids separated from their families, it's terrorism, it's torture.
There were around 1.4 million deportations during Trump's first term in office, according to government statistics. When Democrat Joe Biden defeated Trump and took power in 2021, he returned to a policy similar to Obama's, limiting arrests of non-criminals.
The third order I'm going to be signing orders a full review of the previous administration's harmful and counterproductive immigration policies, basically across the board.
The number of immigrants arrested by ICE initially fell under Biden's new priorities. But as record numbers of migrants tried to cross the U.S.-Mexico border illegally, many were detained and deported. There were about 1.5 million deportations during Biden's term in office, similar to Trump's first term. Trump criticized Biden for not being tough enough on enforcement during the 2024 presidential campaign.
Under crooked Joe Biden, millions and millions of people coming in. They're coming in from prisons, they're coming in from mental institutions, they're terrorists.
After Trump was elected, the pendulum swung back. Trump's new administration pushed ICE to make more arrests than ever before. Trump reassigned thousands of federal agents to intensify the immigration crackdown.
We are federal law enforcement officers.
Agents making arrests are now from Border Patrol, other federal agencies, and even the FBI. Republicans in Congress passed a massive immigration enforcement package in July 2025 that gave ICE $75 billion through September 2029. The money puts ICE among the highest funded U.S. law enforcement agencies and will pay for thousands of additional agents and more than 100,000 detention beds. Some officers are now speaking out about the long hours and increasingly confrontational work.
The focus has shifted, for whatever reason, to we're going to hit the streets, we're going to be in our full-blown military gear. Now we're hitting a Home Depot and hoping that we find someone who's a day laborer who entered the United States illegally, which is a misdemeanor at most.
The number of people detained by ICE went from 40,000 when Trump took office to 70,000 a year later and is expected to rise even further. More than 30 people died in ICE custody in 2025. Trump officials say that more than 600,000 immigrants have been deported since he began his second term, but they stopped releasing official data after Trump took office. In January 2026, federal immigration officers shot and killed 2 U.S. citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and other officials have said that in both cases, they were intending to harm officers. Video evidence captured by bystanders contradicts the Trump officials' narratives. At least 6 immigrants died in ICE custody in January.
We must abolish ICE for good.
The abolish ICE stance is gaining more traction in mainstream politics. But with several years left in Trump's presidency and record funding, we can expect that ICE will remain controversial.